What's up, everyone? This is LeetCode 268, missing number. We've done this problem in Python. Now we're doing it in C++. So we're given an array, nums containing n distinct numbers in the range 0 to n. Return the only number in the range that is missing from the array. Okay, so if you pay attention to the examples, you'll actually see that, right, the length of the input we're given is, let's just call it n, right? The actual numbers that we're supposed to have is n plus 1. We're just missing one, right? Meaning, for example, let's do example 1, right? So the actual length is 3, so we should have 4 numbers, right? So basically, let's count from 0 up to 4. Of course, the 0 counts as a number, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now, this is what we should have as an input. Well, we don't. We actually have not n plus 1, but we have n, right? We only have three numbers in our actual example. So one of these numbers is missing, right? So how can we solve this problem? Well, we can do something like basically take the sum of these numbers, right? And subtract the sum of the input, right? And we would do basically subtract, and I'm just going to reorder these just so it's simple, right? 0, 1, and 3, right? Now, as you can see, right, this 1, this 0 and the 0, this 1 and this 1, this 3 and this 3 would cancel each other out. And when we do this, right, when we take these sums and subtract one from the other, we would be left with the missing number, which would be 2 in this case, right? So that's kind of like a neat way to think about this problem and how we would solve it, right? So let's do that, right? So we're going to say sum of n, right? For int I, 0, I is less than nums.size, and rather than doing nums.size plus 1, we can just do less than or equal to, right? Because we would do from 0 up to and including the length of n. So we would do 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So we would basically do 4, we would touch 4 numbers, which is what we should have. So we're going to do this, right? And so we're going to do sum of n plus equals I, okay? And now down here, we need to actually take the sum of the input, right? So we would say something like this. Oops. Something like this, right? And, you know, we could do, I don't know, int, you know, call it input sum or something. And we could say, you know, input sum plus equals num. And then down here, we can just return, you know, sum of n minus input sum. And, you know, this sum n is basically 0, 1, 2, 3. And this down here is basically 0, 1, 3, right? So when we subtract, we have this and we're subtracting this from this, we would get 2, right? Okay, that, don't want to forget that. Now there is kind of like a slightly cleaner way to write this. You can just do, you can do return sum n and then minus, and you can use a built-in function to kind of do the sum. Now the reason I didn't do this when I just showed you, I prefer my original solution, is because like in some interviews, they might not let you use built-in functions, right? So I'm generally wary of like using built-in functions because I know they can be not accepted always. So I generally try not to use built-in functions, but you can do it like this if you want. Now a slightly cooler way to do this is using the exclusive OR operation, right? Because as you can see, we have some redundancy, right? Like when we're doing 0, 1, 2, 3, right? And we're subtracting 0, 1, 3. We can do exclusive OR because when you exclusive OR a number with itself, they cancel each other out, right? That's kind of the properties of exclusive ORing. For example, if you've been following me doing the grind 75 problem set, right? We used exclusive OR in the LeetCode 136 problem, single number, where basically you're given an input and every number is in the input is duplicated except for 1. So you might have like an input like 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, right? And basically you have to find, which number is a duplicate without using extra space or something like that. And so that's where we learned how to use the exclusive OR operator and its properties and how important it is to solve these problems efficiently. And in the same, type of way, we can do it on this problem, right? So, right, we could have like an input called answer set to 0, right? And we're going to say for int num, let's go through the input, right? We're going to say exclusive OR answer with num, right? And then let's do what we did before, where we go from basically 0 up to and including n. So for example, if n is 3, we'd do 0, 1, 2, and 3, right? So we'd say I is less than or equal to nums.size, I++, right? We'd say answers exclusive or that with I, right? And when we return answer, we should get the missing number, right? Because basically, let's say we have our input is this, right? And our sum from 0 up to and including n would be this, right? When we have some, I don't know, some number answer, and we're exclusive ORing that with 0, 1, and 3. Well, when we exclusive OR that with 0, 1, and 3 over here, then they would cancel each other out. So at the end of this program, we'd only be left with the 2, right? Because exclusive 2 did not get exclusive ORed with itself because it only exists once, since that's the missing number, right? And so in this solution, we'll still get the right answer, right? So make sure you really do brush up on your bit manipulation, because it actually is very useful. And it's daunting at first. Bit manipulation is daunting at first, but like when you actually understand the properties of bit manipulations, it's super useful and it's very cool to do things like this. So yeah, I hope this helped, and I'll see you in the next one.